Welcome to the BWISE PoliSports Briefs, where we unpack the politics behind the play. Today's word, the economics of sports. Because even when you think it's just a game, somebody's economic policy is deciding who gets to play. If sports are the stage, money is the script. Economics tells us who profits from performance and who gets exploited. I'm your host, Political Lil, and today we're going to break down the money game behind the game. Who earns it, who doesn't, and why sports economics is always political. The economics of sports is the study of how money flows through the sports industry. That includes media contracts, player salaries, sponsorship, endorsement, ticket sales, merchandising, ownership, and league investment. In simple terms, sports economics asks one major question: who benefits financially from sports and how? Because sports are not just entertainment, sports are a billion-dollar business system. And like every business system, economics determines who gets resources, who gains opportunities, and who builds wealth. Sport economics becomes political because money controls visibility and access. The sports that receive the largest investment, the biggest television deals, and the strongest corporate support usually become the sports with the most exposure, the best facilities, the highest salaries, and the greatest long-term opportunities. That means economics directly shapes power. Who gets marketed? Who becomes the face of the league? Who receives endorsement opportunities? Who gets protected by institutions? And who gets left behind? Those decisions are rarely neutral. They often reflect broader issues involving race, gender, class, media influence, and institutional priorities. Now let's look at a modern example. Women's basketball is currently experiencing historic growth. We're seeing record attendance, increased television ratings, expansion franchises, rising sponsorship investments, and major media attention surrounding the WNBA and women's college basketball. Economically, that growth matters. Because when audiences demand increases, the money attached to the sports increases too. But here's where sports economics gets deeper. Growth alone does not automatically guarantee equal wealth distribution. Even as women's basketball grows financially, questions still remain about salary structure, marketing investments, ownership power, revenue distribution, and long-term economic equity. That's why conversations surrounding player compensation, media visibility, and labor rights continue to exist. The economics of sports teaches us that who creates the value and who controls the value are often two different things. What makes this conversation important is that sports often reflect the larger economic structure of society. If certain groups are undervalued economically outside of sports, those same patterns frequently appear inside sports. That's why decisions around women's sports, black athlete visibility, NIL, pay equity, and ownership opportunities are not just sports conversations. They are economic conversations. And economic systems always reveal what institutions truly value. Here's the bottom line. The economics of sports is really about power. Who controls the money? Who controls the exposure? Who controls the opportunities? And who benefits from the most from the labor being produced. Because sports are never just games. They are billion-dollar systems connected to media, politics, culture, and corporate influence. At BWISE PoliSports, we follow the money because the money reveals the structure behind the story. And when you understand the economics, you understand the politics behind the plays. Because we don't just watch sports, we study the systems behind them. That's your BWISE PoliSports Brief on politics and sports. If you want to dig deeper into how policy and power shape every play, catch the full 30-minute episode on economics and sports in our upcoming series, Sports as a Mirror of Society. Like, share, and hit the subscribe button, and drop a comment. Because at BWISE PoliSports Podcast, we're a justice-centered media channel teaching politics through the lens of sports. Join PoliSports Nation and Respect Her Game advocacy group at www.respecthergame.online, where we don't just watch the game, We understand the system behind it, and we support the Black women athletes who play it. This is your host, Political Lil, reminding you that sports are never just about the games we play, but the stories we tell and the systems we expose. Stay tuned for our next upcoming PoliSports Brief, Social Equity in Sports. Because even when you think it's just a game, equity is deciding who gets access, opportunity, and resources to play. Until next time, stay tuned, talk soon, and I'm out.